get past the third grade surely must remember the thinkings of the great thinker, Hypotenuse. It was he who said,
Tibi fumus obsidio septum doro.
which roughly translated means everybody can do something. How very true that is. Take Otis Gum of Owl's Eye, Nebraska, for example. He can put 6 flashlights in his mouth at one time. And let us not forget Adler Suggins. Mr. Suggins went over Niagara Falls sitting on a large bagel. No one had ever done that before. Adler Suggins only did it once.
Hey, Bullwinkle, did you read where Adler Suggins went over Niagara Falls in a bagel?
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't think they made those big bagels anymore.
No, I meant it was amazing he went over the falls.
Oh, shucks, that's nothing. Everybody can do something. It's like Hippopotamus said, Tubofungus obsidian September daddy-o or something.
Oh, yeah? Well, what can you
For
do?
one thing, I can remember everything I ever ate.
What did you have for breakfast 2 weeks ago today?
6 pancakes, 4 eggs sunny side up, a slice of ham, 3 hot dogs, a bowl of chili, and a raisin cookie.
Golly, that's amazing.
Just talent, I guess.
Of course, Rocky and Bullwinkle didn't know it then, but the simple fact that Bullwinkle can remember everything he ever eats is about to cause them both big trouble. For at that very moment, in the underground hideout of Boris Badenov...
Boris, are you in that trunk?
Nobody here but a souvenir.
Stop hiding, Boris. Fearless Leader is calling on radio.
I can't talk to him, honey bun. Fearless Leader is mad with me because I still didn't get Elliot Ness.
Don't be silly. He can't bite you over radio.
Oh, boy, you don't know Fearless Leader. Hello, handsome Fearless Leader. I like you better than any Fearless Leader in the world. Yes. I mean, I know I bungled last 3 foreign and 3 jobs, but I don't want to be liquidated. You know I can't stand pain. One more assignment. Honey-bun Fearless Leader is giving me one more chance.
Good for you, darling.
I have pencil, Fearless Leader. Shoot. I mean, what is assignment? Yes? You got it. And don't worry, Fearless Leader. This time I will not fail. Cross my heart and hope to die. I was afraid you'd say that. Bye-bye, Fearless Leader.
What is new assignment, Boris? Kill Moose?
No, steal formula.
What formula?
Who cares? Any formula.
Boris couldn't have picked a better day to look for a formula, for in another part of the city, one Dr. Bermuda Schwartz was testing his new invention for the Army.
Now, when I push this plunger, that bridge over there is going to blow up in a million pieces.
Very well, Doctor. Let it go. Amazing, that bridge blew up without a sound.
I thought you'd notice that.
Congratulations, Doctor. You have invented the first silent explosive.
I call it hush-a-boom. And you've got to admit, it's a little bit different.
Now, it's very difficult to keep a thing like a silent explosive quiet. So when the 3 o'clock paper hit the streets...
X-ray, X-ray, Hush-a-boom goes over with bang. Read all about it.
A silent explosive. Oh, how nice.
Well, that does it, Natasha. Professor Bermuda Schwartz is target for tonight.
And the villains skulked off toward the professor's laboratory, little realizing that our heroes were heading toward it from the other direction. What will happen when they meet? We'll find out next time in Boomtown or Destination Schwartz.
Once in a kingdom there was a king who was such a great king that he was fit for a king. He was handsome and brave, his castle was paid for, and he had the pink slip to the royal carriage. He even had a swimming pool shaped like a swimming pool. But for all this, he did have one little fault.
Oh, honey, dearest.
Whom is it you wish, sire?
My wife, the queen, that's whom.
But, sire, you're not married.
Oh? Maybe that's why I can't find her.
Yes, the king was absent-minded and couldn't seem to remember anything. He had forgotten to ever marry. Knowing that every king should have a queen, he discussed the matter with his prime minister.
What shall I do?
Get married.
If I'm ever going to have a queen, I'll have to have some help.
So saying, he took a wishbone from his pocket that he had been saving for just such an emergency, snapped it, got the biggest half, and said his wish.
Help!
With that, there was a tinkling of tiny bells, a blinding flash of light, a beautiful blue fairy appeared.
I'm a magic blue fairy, and I can help you get a queen.
I am all ears.
I know, but I can still help you get a queen.
Taking the king to a golden chariot, they soared up into the sky, raced among the clouds, and finally came to rest in a deep forest.
Well, it's a nice way to travel, but you'll have to admit, those landings are a little rough.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Now, where is this beautiful princess who is to be my queen?
She's a lovely princess, and she's in that castle on yon mountain.
Good. Let's go get her.
Well, first you must slay the terrible giant who lives in the woods.
Bye.
Hey, wait! With this magic sword, you can defeat him easily.
Well, that was encouraging, and the king bravely entered the woods where he soon came face to face with the giant.
Yourself. Now, stick 'em up.
The king could have simply slain the giant on the spot, but for one thing, he had forgotten the magic sword. The giant gave the hapless king a terrible beating.
He threw you nearer the castle, so you passed that obstacle. You were lucky.
Yeah, lucky. Now, let's go get the princess.
Hey, not so fast. Next, you must pass through the huge, vicious thorn bush that surrounds the castle.
I could never get through there.
You can when I tell you the secret, and that's to be brave, for the thorns will part to let a brave man pass.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, that sounds easy enough. Stand back.
He ran headlong toward the vicious thorns. But also running true to form, he forgot to be brave, chickened out, and...
Did it again, eh?
Yeah, looks like.
Well, never you mind. I'll just wave my magic wand and make those old vicious thorns disappear. There we go.
Hey, why didn't you tell me you could do that before?
Well, you didn't ask me.
Well, anyway, now we can go in the castle and get the princess to be my queen.
No, not quite yet. First, you must do away with the wicked witch that guards her.
Problems. Why so many problems?
It's the breaks, boy. Beautiful princesses just don't come easy in these fairy tales.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay. What's the gimmick with the wicked witch?
I'll give you a magic word that'll make her disappear.
And that is?
Thunderbolt.
Wouldn't you know it? Me with a lousy memory.
So, armed with the magic word, the king ran into the castle and...
Ha-ha! Now, you wicked witch.
Hold it. I'm the beautiful princess. That's the wicked witch over there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Ha-ha! Now, you wicked witch.
So, a handsome king who dares to enter my castle, eh? Well, just for that, I'll turn you into a toad. Higgledy-piggledy, my blessing.
Stop!
What for?
For I have a magic word that'll make you disappear. And it is,
We'll get on with it.
Thunderbolt!
It was a miracle. The king had remembered the word, and the wicked witch disappeared in a cloud of green smoke. But so happy was the king by the fact that he finally remembered something, he completely forgot why he was there.
Yippee! I remembered!
Weeks went by, and of course, the absent-minded king did not return to his kingdom, for he was unable to remember which kingdom was his. Finally, he chanced to pass a lovely young girl from whom he asked directions, and when she put her dainty finger to her chin to think over the question...
Pardon me, but, I can't help noticing that you have a string tied around your finger. What's it for?
To help me remember.
Remember what?
I don't know. I forgot.
The girl, it seemed, was as absent-minded as the king, and needless to say, there was such a common bond, they fell in love. And so it was that, what's his name, married, what's her name, in Who's-It, and they lived, life happily ever after.
Perfection is the action-packed game where you race to fit the shapes into the slots, but you better be quick, or perfection will pop.
This piece here is that piece there. Put those pieces everywhere, but be quick or beware. Up goes perfection.
I did it.
Perfection from Milton Bradley.
Sparkles and fun for you with Little Miss Magic Jewels.
How'd you do that? With a magic wand.
On her gown, in her hair, you can put her jewels everywhere. Little Miss Magic Jewels.
We can make lots of pretty looks.
Sparkles and fun for you with Little Miss Magic Jewels.
We can put jewels everywhere.
Little Miss Magic Jewels doll comes with magic wand and 24 jewels. Extra jewel packs sold separately.
Watch me trick Fred out of his fruity pebbles. Space Police, the alien has landed. The alien? He's after the fruitiest cereal in Bedrock.
Not my delicious Fruity Pebbles.
You, check under the bed.
Yes, sir.
While I check out your Fruity Pebbles. Mmm, fruity full orange, lemon, lime, grape, and cherry.
Yikes, the alien! Dino? Bonnie, my Pebbles!
They're out of this world.
A Fruity Pebbles cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast.
You wait till your mother sees what you've done to your new Sunday toga, Junior.
Well, don't blame it on me, Pop. Blame it on Skinny Flavius's dog.
Skinny Flavius's dog is only 6 weeks old.
But that briar patch in our backyard isn't.
Is that what tore your toga?
Uh-huh. The dog was chasing me, and I jumped over the fence without looking.
By overlooking the briar patch, you overlook one of my most wisest sayings. Look before you leap.
Gosh, is that one of yours?
Yes, it is, and so is this fable. The country frog and the city frog. Once there was a frog, a poor country frog. His only possession was a small farm on which the only thing he could grow were gopher holes.
I got holes in my farm, holes in my shoes, and a hole in my head, or I wouldn't still be here.
That was the year the world discovered the game of golf. And as anyone can tell you, the object of the game is to put the ball in a hole. That was also the year there was a shortage of holes, but not on the frog's farm.
I'll give you 50,000 cash for 18 holes.
I'll make it 60,000.
The frog sold every gopher hole on his farm and overnight amassed a huge fortune.
I'm going to take me a roll of nickels, and I'm going to the big city. I'm going to have me a time.
And then he saw it. The Bijou Theater directly across the street. And on the marquee, the frog gets 50 beautiful dancing frogs. After purchasing a ticket, which incidentally was only a nickel, he took a seat in the very front row.
I have done died and gone to heaven.
One gorgeous creature in particular caught his fancy, the star of the show, Amphibian. Her performance so unnerved the simple frog that he began popping nickels into his mouth, thinking they were jelly beans. Amphibian had seen a lot of big spenders, but this looked like the biggest of them all.
By grannies, Miss Fabian, sure was neighborly of you to let me buy you this here expensive dinner.
I worship the bank you keep your money in, honey.
A mad courtship followed. Money was no object when it came to Amphibian. She spent nickels like they were pennies. There were nights at the opera, days at the races, and afternoons in the fur shop.
Buy me that Alaskan seal, would you, sweetheart?
How much is it?
Only 20,000 nickels.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Needless to say, it wasn't long before the frog was down to his last nickel.
What are we going to do tonight, Frog, honey?
Well, I thought we'd go somewhere and make a phone call. Talk to the operator, things like that.
Let's get something straight, big boy. If you want me to be your honey, you gotta spend lots of money.
Well, in that case, you wait right here, yeah?
In an effort to raise money fast, he took the first job to come along, which happened to be in a circus.
Only thing we need right now is a high diver.
Tell me what to do.
You see that 5,000-foot platform? Dive off of that into this bucket.
Ain't that a mite dangerous?
Yeah, but it pays good.
Willing to risk anything, the frog ascended the ladder and poised athletically at the edge of the platform.
Ain't exactly leap year, but here goes.
The little frog jumped out into space and plunged like a rocket toward the bucket far below. But as luck would have it, the weather suddenly changed. A cold snap set in, and the water in the bucket froze solid. Well, there's nothing new about a frog diving into a bucket of ice, so he was fired.
What in the blue-eyed world am I gonna do? If I don't find me some money out...
And then he saw it. In the gutter was a nickel.
Maybe my luck has changed.
He put the nickel in a weighing machine, and instead of a fortune, 2 nickels came out. Flushed with his newfound wealth, he dashed into a phone booth to call Amphibian. But instead of getting her number, 3 nickels fell out. On a bus that would take him to Anne's apartment. He dropped the 3 nickels into the coin receiver, and out came a transfer. He was as broke as ever.
Annie, honey, I'm Nicholas.
I don't care what your front name is, honey. I got news. Your broker sold the last of your gopher holes. Here's 10,000 nickels.
Hop, Ziggy, let's us go make a long-distance phone call.
Oh, no, you don't. This wouldn't last me a fortnight. You're going to enter a frog jumping contest and will win a fortune.
Banana Baby, I can't jump.
You won't have to, Green Eyes. We'll bet on another frog.
And so on the day of the jumping contest, the little frog took his place on the starting line.
Now remember, love, don't jump a foot. You'll lose and we'll win.
He had to make it look good, so he took a few steps back to get set for a false effort. But not looking where he was going, he backed into a bush on which sat a bee. And the frog took off on the longest jump ever recorded by man. He won the contest, but he lost his money and amphibian. So you see, Junior, look before you leap.
I got a better one, Pop.
Don't you always? All right, let's have it.
Once bitten, twice spry.
No, go play in the briar patch, son.
Last time, you remember, we heard quite a discussion of Bullwinkle Moose's one outstanding talent.
You can remember everything you ever ate.
Every time I swallow, it's a stroll down memory lane.
Meantime, a short distance away, a professor named Bermuda Schwartz had just developed a silent explosive called Hush-a-Boom. This, of course, gave him A1 priority on Boris's hate parade.
But, Boris, how you going to steal the formula?
Steal it? He's going to tell it to me.
Tell it to you? Why should he?
Observe, Natasha.
And the wily villain ducked out of sight and reappeared a moment later dressed as an old lady.
Boris, this makes him tell you the formula?
Certainty. What boy would keep a formula from his own mother?
His mother.
Who's there?
Bermuda, baby, it's time.
I know that, but who are you?
Bermy boy, you don't know your own mother?
Mommy! Come in, Mommy! Tell me where you got the mustache.
And Boris entered the house with a gullible professor. An hour later, he emerged smiling triumphantly.
Boris, you got it?
Natch, I got it.
What took you so long?
I had to bake my boy his favorite cake.
You baked a cake?
It's the least a good mommy can do.
Well, see what you can do about that, Mommy.
Sure enough, coming toward them were Rocky and Bullwinkle, who, oddly enough, had no idea at all of what was going on.
What's all about that?
You hear, Boris? They're not even in on the plot.
We don't take chances. Come on, I got idea.
And the two villains approached the proprietor of a nearby fruit cart.
Hey, you want to sell me this fruit cart?
Sure, that'll cost you $50,000.
$50,000? You out of your mind?
You got no choice, so you gotta buy it.
We do?
You in a bad trouble. You stole a formula from a Professor Schwartz, and now you gotta hide from a moose and a squirrel.
Hey, how come you know all this?
Hey, what do you think? I don't watch the Bullwinkle show.
Well, I got no choice. I gotta hand it to you.
Okay, let me have it.
Boris, he trusted you.
Yes, apparently he doesn't watch the show regularly.
But I don't understand, darling. How will this keep formula safe?
Watch carefully. I write formula down on inside of banana. Zip up the peel, tear up the paper. Now all we got is banana. Who would suspect it hides formula?
I would.
Oh, you're sneaky, no good, Natasha.
Oh, Boris, you do care, don't you?
Hush. Here comes Moose and Squirrel.
And at that moment, fate played her final card. For instead of passing the innocent-looking fruit cart, Bullwinkle stopped and said,
See, I chew like a banana right now. How much are they?
Bananas?
Yeah.
We have no bananas today.
See, that'd make a great song title.
Those are bananas right there.
Yeah, how much?
They're not for sale.
Oh, come on, I'll give you a quarter for one.
No.
50 cents?
Bullwinkle, that's too much.
$1.
Well,
Boris, no.
$2.
Bullwinkle, no.
It's a deal.
Boris, no.
Pay the man the $2, Rock.
And Bullwinkle walked off munching a $2 banana containing $1 million formula.
How does it taste?
Expensive.
Boris, how could you do such a thing?
I didn't want to. He took advantage of my crooked nature.
This will ruin you as fearless leader. What are you going to do, darling?
Moose has ruined Boris, so now Boris will ruin Moose.
And a steamroller can do it too. Be sure to thrill to our next episode entitled Splat of the Land, or A Rolling Stone Gathers No Moose.
Hang tight. Nickelodeon's Moose-a-Rama will be right back.
Cabbage Patch newborns come with a talking magical monitor so you can hear different surprise sounds.
If you need me, I'll always know. My magical monitor tells me
was a big bowl of Kellogg's Cinnamon Mini Buns. But is this my last swirl of sweet cinnamon? Maybe not. Save some for me, Jimmy!
There's a cyclone of cinnamon in every bowl of Kellogg's Cinnamon Mini Buns, part of this complete breakfast.
Glad you could drop in, CB. Don't just sit there. Pass the milk.
How do you cure boredom? With board games! Mini Clue Jr. out of control and sorry. Free on specially marked boxes of Kellogg's Cinnamon Mini Buns.
Set 'em up. This bowling stuff's right up my alley. Shark attack bowling is the sport with shark fins. The shark is the ball and the fisher is fins. Line 'em up, let 'em go. The shark is on a roll. Shark attack bowling. It's shark attack bowling. I sneak up on 'em slow like, then I strike. Shark attack bowling. Knock down the most bigs who win. Line 'em up, let 'em go. The shark is on a roll. Shark attack bowling. It's shark attack bowling. I win. Shark attack bowling. Sure beats fishing.
You are in the O-Zone. And now back to Nickelodeon's Moose-a-Rama.
And now for all of you who like to think big, here's Mr. Know-It-All.
Hello, you big thinkers, you. Today's lecture is entitled, Falling Asleep on the Job Can Lead to a Rude Awakening, or Don't Be a Somnambulist Chaser. Let us suppose first that you are an admiral in the army doing sentry duty. The condition is bed, and so are your eyeballs from lack of sleep. Falling asleep here would mean you'd lose your good conduct ribbon. The best way to stay awake is rush inside the nearest shack and light a cigarette. Preferably a candy cigarette. Next, we shall take a situation often faced by test pilots. You find yourself in the latest model with your speedometer reading half full. You are ready to go into a screaming dive. After you land, right now it is your job to break the sound barrier, or at least bend it a little. You turn on your radio and contact the tower. This is Red Letter Day, calling disabled Baker Charlie. Mayday, over. You discover to your disgust that disabled Baker Charlie has gone into a screaming dive to wait for you. Anxious to get this over with, you throw the ship into a screaming dive. Hiya, fellas. Now I ask you, who could sleep in here?
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All, for showing us how to stay awake.
Well, as long as you're back anyway, I might as well explain what's been going on. We all know that everybody can do something, even Bullwinkle, who proved beyond a doubt that he can remember everything he ever ate.
What did you have for dinner 25 years ago today, Bullwinkle?
Moose milk.
Boy, you really can remember everything you ever ate.
That was too easy, Rock. 25 years ago, I always had moose milk.
You were an addict?
No, a baby.
But Bullwinkle is grown up now, and he must learn to face the facts. And the facts are that Boris Badenov has managed to steal the secret formula to a silent explosive called Hush-a-Boom. Then, disguising himself as a fruit peddler, he wrote the formula on the inside of a banana for safekeeping. But unable to resist making a fast buck, he sold the banana to Bullwinkle, who ate it, formula and all. Ruined to the quick, Boris immediately set out to ruin Bullwinkle.
Any second now, Moose is going to be part of Elm Street.
Bullwinkle's gonna get run over by the steamroller. I gotta save him.
And with that, the plucky squirrel shot into the air like a pullet.
That's bullets.
That's bullets. Boris not only missed the moose, but was unable to find the brakes to the steamroller.
You all right, Bullwinkle?
Just fine. What happened?
Somebody tried to run over you with a steamroller.
Oh, a squash and run driver, eh? Oh, well. Bye now. Thanks again.
Who's that?
This is a manhole, isn't it?
Yeah?
So it's a man.
Rocky and Bullwinkle then crossed the street and entered the drugstore where they knew beyond a doubt they could get a soda to calm their nerves. What they didn't know beyond a doubt was that Boris Badenov and his henchwoman Natasha were under the table.
How about a banana split, Bullwinkle?
No thanks, Rock. I ate a banana a little while ago with H2ONH3, C2H5, PDQU235 and a pinch of salt written on it.
Boris, Moose remembers formula.
And so when Rocky and Bullwinkle left the drugstore, Boris was waiting with a fiendish plan to extract the formula from the innocent Moose.
Here comes Moose. Let him have it, Natasha.
Hey, Hey, what's the big idea of hitting me with a pie?
Hey, you sound mad.
Well, that's funny. I am mad.
You can't be mad.
Why?
Look at that lollipop.
What about it?
That's really not a lollipop. That's a camera.
Really?
Sure, you're on television.
No! A camera in a lollipop?
The matter, you never hear of candid camera?
Say, then you must be...
Right. Alan Fink. Go on, say something to our audience.
Well, what shall I say?
Just tell us a little about yourself. Like, what was it that you ate about 1 hour ago?
Say, folks, about an hour ago, I ate a banana with H2O8H3, C2H5, PDQ, U235, and a pinch of salt written on it.
That's it. Come on, honey bun.
Flushed with success, Boris ran to the nearest telephone and called Fearless Leader.
Hello, Fearless Leader. Grab pencil. I got formula. It's H2O... H2OC... Ooh, I'll call you back. I'm practically liquidated. Who can remember all those numbers?
And so, once again, innocence triumphs over evil. And the secret formula is to remain forever safely hidden in the confines of a moose's stomach, never to be heard from again.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that either. What is in can be taken out.
Is this really the end of Bullwinkle? Be with us next time for Mac the Knife or Operation Moose.
If you're looking for in-depth election coverage with up-to-the-minute results and valuable insight, then you need to stay tuned for Election Night on Nick at Night. Nick at Night is the only place that covers candidates like Ted Baxter, Rob Petrie, and Mr. Mooney. Next on Election Night on Nick at Night.
We're taking the big orange couch from Beverly Hills over to Nickelodeon's 6th Annual Kids' Choice Awards.
Roseanne, Luke, Mariah, who are your favorites this year?
Stick with us and find out.
Whether it's NFL action, explosive action, or animated adventure, you'll be thankful you have cable in November, where you'll see exclusive NFL football live every Sunday on ESPN, where Bruce Willis and Damon